I drove field cuts through my neighborhood.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm here with Steve.
Como está, mi furry burritonians? How's it going, everybody? Nice to see you.
What?
What is he saying right now? He's a furry burritonian.
So,
Is my mic on? Is it working? Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello?
yeah, I think they can.
Hey!
Are they saying it?
I don't know, it might have reverb on it from yesterday. Make sure the second one over from the big master one, the red one.
No, I turned it
Pull
off.
that all the way down.
Yeah,
Pull it all the way down.
I did.
All right, now we're dry as a bone.
Okay. See, I'm in my ducky jammies.
Ducky Jammers, Popeye, and Oz Whistles. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see all y'all.
All the alerts are just going through.
Cam, Vegan, Snowy Leopards. All you nice people.
Did you guys hear what happened?
What happened?
Susan is leaving us. She's stepping down.
Susan Greenberg.
Why?
That's their song.
I'm loud. I'm probably loud because I'm actually.
Yeah. Why is Steve so quiet? Huh? Ask yourself that. Why don't you? Is it a conspiracy?
Are we more balanced?
Are they trying to quiet dissenting voices? Is it a conspiracy? I don't know. Hello?
Okay, now does it sound more balanced now?
Is it more balanced?
Tell us, guys.
Tell me. Let me know. I'll get closer to the mic.
Okay, it says there's only 3 people in here.
How is this? Is this better? Can you hear me?
There
now?
must be some weird lag thing between the viewer count because there's way more than 3 people.
Yeah, I see more than 3 people. How is that?
I don't know.
Forgive me because I'm stoned. It's fine. What if I
What are you doing?
I actually take the mic and say, hey.
You don't have to move it.
Hey, everybody.
Don't move it.
Steve here. Do I sound really close to your ears now? Can you hear me better? Is the sound clearer? Stop getting so close to the goddamn mic. All right, is this better? Hello? Nobody's saying nothing. They're just like just let Steve keep saying stupid shit. It'll be great.
Yeah. Well, that only goes on for so long.
Sounds good, Snowy said. There we go. I'm sold.
Hi, Kim. Vegan said good morning. No, not good morning.
Mike is good.
Good
You can trust
evening
him.
and happy Thursday, beautiful humans. I know everything in the world is absolutely insane at this point, and I hope you're taking extra care of your minds, bodies, and souls. We should all take a moment, take a deep breath.
I put up a song from last night where I urged everyone to do just that. It's on the on my channel. But most people don't know about my channel.
Where is Meat Butter?
Meat Butter's somewhere. I've seen the Meat Butter. Everybody just circle up, join hands.
Leo wanted to come say hi.
Leo, you little
pajama wearing
little duck, rubber ducky. He's yeah.
I'm gonna eat him.
Leo, rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time so much fun. That's what they say. All right, well, let's get into it. It's what time is it anyway? Is it time?
It's only like 6 after.
Half past.
Yeah.
No.
It's early. I just wanted to like give people time to get in.
It's early run-ins. Well,
Papa,
hopefully
you're supposed to inhale and exhale when
That's
you're
right.
breathing deep. Do both.
repeatedly.
Leo does does he float? No, you think I'm giving hugs?
Doo-doo-doo.
He's the sweetest dog ever.
Everybody rearrange your
Where are you trying to go?
Your protons to a more comfortable position.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to rearrange the protons and the photons and the thetas and the betas and how come you can't even do Bill Cosby anymore and people get all fucking twisted out of shape? It's like you can't even the general pudding pop. You can't. People get all mad.
Well,
don't just be a mouth breather.
Ew. All right. So something happened today.
Something happened.
Susan
Susan
decided to step down. And look, why does this matter to us?
Kate.
Why does it matter that Susan stepped down?
Why should it matter? You should be like, oh, great. Susan, she was like the crazy rule-loving censorist
of YouTube. CEO of YouTube, Susan, is who we're talking about.
You thought.
Like whenever we're talking about Susan, this is who we're talking about.
You thought it was just her, and that was it. She was the bad apple, as it were. The old lock up Julian without and throw away the key kind of fucking attitude. Yeah, but no. Turns out.
No, this is it. Right? Hang on. Don't jump ahead.
I'm not. I'm just saying that the story takes a turn.
This is her. This is the long-time YouTube CEO, Susan. I can't say your last name. I'm gonna.
Susan, without name shall not be uttered.
She's announced that she's leaving her position at the video sharing company after
her position or her physician.
Position.
All right. I sorry, my hearing's not what it once was.
So stop. So she's leaving after 9 years. So Susan, this is her tribute to say goodbye to you and your censorship. Because as you know, if you've been to this channel before, if you've been on this journey with us, then you know that we have dealt with a lot of censorship from this platform.
Susie Dubs
alone.
That should be her name. Susie Dubs.
Susie censorship.
Susie double censorships. Dubs. Let's just call her Susie Dubs for brevity.
Okay, so this is from February 16th. And she even sent out like apparently a letter to all the content creators too. We have
super
that.
Nice. I haven't got mine yet, but I'm waiting. I'm hoping it's going to come soon because I want to be included too.
Yeah, so she wants to focus on family health and personal projects that she's passionate about. I don't know what that means exactly. She's like, I don't want to be the main censor in chief anymore. Right?
I like Kate's pronunciation of the name that shall not be uttered.
Of Susan's name? Oh, Susan.
Snowy's alone in the Odysee realm.
Oh, well, we appreciate you being over there.
Yeah, throw out some life preservers or something.
Yeah, everybody, if you click on either the Rumble or the Odysee link, and then even if you watch it on YouTube, if you can subscribe on another platform, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm trying to get some more people to subscribe on the other platforms, especially because...
And we'll tell you why.
We don't, that tonight we'll reveal why we're worried about the censorship even more. As if it hasn't been bad enough. Oh, the censorship we know may be, the lesser of the the evil of censorship. We don't know. We don't know.
Well,
But I can. We're gonna look at who.
we can explore who this replacement person is.
Predict. See. Do you see the cat?
Who's Kevin? Hey! Don't even try it, kitten.
Dude,
I see what you're trying.
we ate.
I see what you're trying.
We ate some fish for dinner, and I didn't eat all of mine. And the cat is stalking. The cat is stalking the fish. You didn't give Leo any.
I gave Leo some already.
No, not just now. He just saw you give that to like everybody else. Oh, I was gonna eat that. Thanks.
Oh, there you go. Is that so good, you guys? You're not even eating yours? Eat yours, goober. That's food. That's fish, man.
So I'm gonna pull up the letter to the creators that she sent out. So earlier today, I sent an email to employees announcing that I'd be stepping back from my role as head of YouTube to start a new chapter focused on family health and personal projects I'm passionate about. It's been an honor of my career to have a front row seat to an incredible YouTube community you have built. Your stories of perseverance, creativity, inspiration were daily sources of motivation, inspired me to be an advocate and steward for the community.
Can I introduce?
All created.
Why are we not seeing Susan's beautiful letter?
Oh.
All we're seeing is your beautiful face and a dog.
Oh.
Eating fish.
There. See, it didn't add it up.
There we go. Yeah, because it doesn't add up automatically anymore. You have to.
I know, and it's throwing me off. I thought I hit a button to.
Now.
Oh, you see this guy over here, Neal Mohan. That's the new guy. This is a sneak peek into looking at the new guy. We're gonna be like Neal
and dog.
Oh man. Okay.
That's so good, Kevin.
So it was a constant highlight of my job to sit down with you, hear how you were using the platform, and listen to feedback. Sometimes what you said was tough and candid, but it was important for me and the wider YouTube team to listen and do better. Today, the YouTube community is incredibly strong. We're building businesses and following your dreams and censorship. They're doing that too, but like that's just implied. She didn't have to say it out loud.
No, don't say anything out loud.
She's keeping us safe. Because information, and not being able to, maybe they taught people to actually use their critical thinking skills. It wouldn't be such a big deal whether or not something was true or not, because people would, actually do research to fact check things and not just take somebody's word for it.
Well, they were just like, no, we'll do it for you.
That's why I like to show you guys everything. And
we'll just fact check it for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no.
Put a label on it. If it seems like it's not trustworthy, just trust us. Because, who else are you going to trust?
Hey, that's a blue flag when somebody says, just trust me without any evidence. I don't ever expect anybody to replace my opinion with yours. But I will tell you my opinion, and it's based on facts. And I'll tell you why I feel the way that I do. And if I have biases and stuff like that, I'll tell you that. If I'm actually aware of them, I try to be as honest about it as possibly can. So back to Susan. Goodbye to Susan. I wish it was goodbye to Susan and censorship. Oh, I could dream, right?
Wouldn't that?
I can dream. So you will continue to have someone committed to building, advocating for creators at the helm of YouTube. YouTube's longtime chief product officer, Neal Mohan, will take over the leadership role. He's an excellent leader and understands this community and you need today, tomorrow, and in the future better than anyone. I plan to stay around for a period of time to help Neal with the transition. Oh, so Susan's not leaving us yet. and will serve as an advisor to Google and Alphabet. Because please do not forget who it is that this company really belongs to. Who followed that money? We're going to do that later on. So I remain just as convinced today as when I started 9 years ago that YouTube's best days are ahead of it. From shorts to podcasting, streaming to subscriptions. I'm excited to see what comes next. And with Neal and our incredible team of employees, you'll be in good hands. Finally, thank you for everything over the years. Thank you for welcoming me into your studio, your homes, and your lives. No, I didn't invite you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this incredible stories you're sharing with the world. My admiration, Susan. Well, Susan, I don't think we feel the same about each other. I don't feel like it's an even thing here. I don't think it's okay that you take, what is it, 55 or something % of super chats when people get monetized. I don't think that's cool. I don't think it's cool that, you get to come in and give me a strike from a year ago. Steve. And the cat is trying to get to my plate. And, you get to then make it where I can't be monetized for 3 months because I got a strike. And I don't think that the censorship is okay.
I think we're in a abusive relationship with YouTube.
I think so.
I think we need to come to terms with it, Susan. It's just not working out for us.
Yeah. But we want you to go.
It's not us. It's you.
And we're going to have all of these links available after the show. We'll put them in the show notes on different platforms. So I already have them already organized and ready to go. So it'll be easy to put them in there. And if you want to check out any of the links and where I got my information, you can do that. You can follow the trail. Yeah, vegan, they take 55%, I think is what it is up to now. It just changed. I don't remember.
Yeah, please, if you guys want to help contribute to us, please do not ever use YouTube for that purpose.
I know. In a way,
ways that you can help. Be a Patreon person. They take a cut too, but it's not as much as that as YouTube. Yeah, or just directly, doing Cashapp or the Give Send Go or Venmo or PayPal. There's a zillion. There's a lot of different ways. Coffee. We have all the things. Yeah. Yes. It really does help. It does. It makes it possible for us to continue to do this. Because if we didn't have beautiful Patreon people, we'd be struggling month to month to try to even come up with enough to pay for our StreamYard. Never mind the other costs. It's crazy. So yeah, we really appreciate you guys. I think it just went up, Kim. Amounts. I don't know. I have to. We can check that for sure. But I believe it just went up to 55. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, I believe they just bumped it up. Yeah, Western Union is pretty cheap too. But everything what was the other one? We got so many of them. We can get a Stream Elements, PayPal, Cashapp, Venmo, Give Send Go, Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee. I think that's all of them. It's crazy how many. Yeah, we have a bunch of different ways. Well, we try to do it so that or snail mail. Snail mail. So that everybody would be able to do it one way or the other easier. Yeah. All right. Crystal. So howdy. I want to go back to this. I wanted to talk about why is it showing up? Oh, that's part of the article. It looks like it's part of my image there, but that's just part of this is on the article. So this is from February 16th, 2023. And this is on American News. Breaking: notorious censorship advocate Susan
steps down as YouTube CEO. There she is. And look where she's at. World Economic Forum. Because remember who all these companies are tied to. You know,
those companies.
We always talk about who they are tied to. You know, this YouTube was bought up and it's part of Alphabet, Google. And we're gonna go into that later.
Yeah.
We're gonna follow that a little bit later. Steve's hinting because he knows.
Common denominator. I just want to do some maths.
He knows what I
connect the dots.
He knows a little bit of what I put together for the show, so he's like leading you guys.
I do that. You pay attention, you'll know what's coming.
Sometimes,
because
sometimes Steve has no idea what the show is.
No idea, and he'll just say random things to fuck everybody up. Because I love chaos, and I embrace it.
So Susan joined Google in 2008 as one of the first employees at the company. She will be replaced by Neal Mohan. Was it Mohan or Mohan? Which one is it?
It's whatever you want to be. Oh, Mohan.
What is it? What is that supposed to be?
Mohan.
Mohan.
He's from India, so I'm thinking Mohan.
Mohan?
The A is usually kind of a, the short A sound. So that's what I'm guessing. I could be wrong.
I only know a couple people from India, so I've
known a few people from India.
Maybe in one of our videos later on, they'll tell us how to say it because I didn't pay attention enough to how it was said.
Applejack says Neal Mohan is going to ruin independent media for YouTube. Shh, that's only a rumor.
Applejack, we are not there yet.
We're not there yet. Slow down.
We're getting there.
Slow down, speed racer. Gotta stay vigilant in a room where everyone has a wrench in their hand. Yeah, you do. You don't want to get caught slipping.
Actually, I think you have less to worry about because nothing you're saying is going to be censored.
Susan and meaty curtains is the word on the street.
Oh my god. Okay. So she's going to be replaced with Neal Mohan, according to Reuters. Mohan, a Stanford graduate, joined Google in 2008 as a chief product officer at YouTube, where he has been focusing. Oh my god. The cat just ran in here. The wrong cat ran in here and jumped up on the counter and jumped down. She doesn't do that. Sweetie, out.
You're deranged, kitty. You got tuna derangement syndrome.
Tuna derangement?
You need some freaking tuna and lost your mind.
No, don't give him my fish.
You want to eat that fish?
Oh, fine. Give it to them.
No.
Give it to them.
I won't.
Okay, so anyway, Mohan, a Stanford graduate, joined in 2008 as a chief product officer at YouTube, where he's been focusing on building YouTube shorts and music. Susan, 54, says she's going to focus on her life, family, and personal projects, blah, blah. She said that before. And this is why I put this article in here, is that Susan said anything that goes against the WHO stance on the big C word would be deemed a violation of YouTube policy.
Oh.
That really, that was her say in that.
Sure.
And, I don't know that Neal is going to be any different.
Yeah.
So YouTube under Susan would smother voices that dared question official narratives. Comedian Russell Brand had a video where he was questioning the narrative around the big C, and they removed it. They did it to us. They did it to everybody.
They did.
Anybody who talked about it in a way that they didn't approve of.
They are.
So that's something to note right there. Is to pay attention to that, because that is a trend that has happened. And if you pay attention to things like that, you might notice there's trends. Get cat.
Get out of here. Kick rocks.
Earlier this month, we did a video about changing narratives around C. I don't even want to say it.
Why?
The pandemic and the C treatments, and because I'm sick of saying it, in which we cited information on official government websites, which misinterpreted said brand. So he said, I'll have to be careful talking about it now. I don't want to make the same mistake and have one of your videos pulled down and official warning issued. YouTube also had meetings with the Biden administration along with other big tech giants to censor information. So that's what Susan is known for. Make her leave, please. This is. Oh my gosh. Okay. So like I said before, that will be in the show notes. If you want to read like the rest of it, there's another paragraph or something. But so we know where things have been going with Susan. This is exactly, she loves censorship.
You said the C word. The other C word. Oh my God.
Leo.
Help, I'm being oppressed.
You're being wiggle butt. You're being a wiggle butt. So here we go again. YouTube execs say censorship is good for business. Yeah, would you imagine that? They say it was good for business. And this is from September of 2021. Oh my God. Whose business is this good for? Really? Really? And this goes back to Neal again. So he's been in this the whole time. And this is why I'm not sure that it's going to be any different with Neal. I don't think it's going to be any better. I think it possibly is going to get worse. And I'm going to show you guys examples as to why I think that. So Neal Mohan, product head at YouTube, recently said that one of the reasons why the video platform is trying to strengthen content moderation is that it's good for business. He was speaking in an exclusive interview with Axios. 2 million creators are part of a YouTube program that enables them to get paid. Mohan stated that a key focus for the company was to ensure that only creators who adhere to YouTube rules are rewarded.
Yeah, he's a special boy.
Yeah, like that is like alarming, And so he said 99.9% of creators are looking to do the right thing. However, creators who do not stick with the platform rules can still make money even when YouTube demonetize their content. YouTube has paid out $30 billion to creators over the last 3 years. So it's just alarming to me. He's like, no, I only want to reward the people that do what I think is right. One of the talking points of the interview is COVID-19 misinformation.
Eliza just tweeted she forgives DeFango. That's what Farron just came in the chat and said that.
What?
What the fuck?
Farron, what the fuck?
Come on. Yeah. You should get fucking more twisted. Please.
Farron, really?
Please, just some more balance. She's just fucking with us, I think. I don't know. I'm either way, it's funny.
Farron, I have questions about things. This is a weird twist of events. Yeah, he didn't apologize for. Well, I mean, what was in that letter? Did he really she forgives him? Oh, well, he did mention in the Tim Pool thing. I'm getting distracted. He did mention in the Tim Pool letter with Shane Cashman that, you know, if he did blah, 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 he was, you know, like he apologizes for that. He did say that.
So Eliza reciprocated. That's nice. So everybody's friends again.
Yeah, like, you know,
That's sweet.
but you know, my video got taken down and everybody's content got censored thanks to Susan.
Thanks, Susan. But now Susan's gone, so don't worry, because Neal's a whole different breed of character.
Who is Tim Pool? That's Tim Pool. You made me say it.
Oh my God, you just slandered the interweb genius that is.
And DeFango has Griftcast IRL. This is crazy.
Very strange how that works. But I just brought it back in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and Susan always with that censorship. Let me see. Do you and Farron follow each other?
Yeah. So I did. Sure I did.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't follow you back? Or okay. No. Farron, I sent you the link on StreamYard if you want to join me for this. There's no like guest link like DeFango has for us, but I sent it through Steve's Twitter though. If you want to talk about Susan. So where was I? I got distracted.
Neal. Our friend Neal. We're just starting to get we're just starting to get to know our friend Neal.
Neal. Yes, Neal. Okay. So one of the talking points of the interview was the C19 misinformation. Many people have called out YouTube for removing content that is against the boop and wearing masks. Gosh, I don't even know. Like there are so many restrictions on what we're allowed to say. Like I don't want to trigger any of the the review of my content, because how they do that is not by a person. So if there's enough keywords that they feel like they can flag it, they will, even though I'm reading an article. It's just so overly abrasive. What are you guys doing over here in the chat? Anything? All right. I was saying, is anything happening over here in the chat? You walked away. You need to come. What are you doing? Okay. So it says the work is never done. I've learned that there is always a new vector of misinformation that will pop up. Mohan told Axios. YouTube recently began sharing the rate of policy violating content showed to users. As of Q4, this number was at 0.16 to 0.18%. That means for every 10,000 views, only 16 to 18 videos that did not conform. Yeah, see that? Do not conform to YouTube censorship rules.
Will not conform.
And are able to get through to viewers.
Cannot conform.
Where do you think we get hit? Where do you think we are on that? Okay. Anyway, Mohan's admission of YouTube pushing forward censorship comes at a time when a platform has been severely criticized for being biased on its moderating policies. A prominent recent victim of YouTube censorship is a Republican senator, Rand Paul. In early August, the company removed an 8-minute clip in which Rand discussed Washington funding a Chinese lab believed to be the origin of the COVID-19 virus. He criticized Dr. Anthony Fauci, chief medical advisor to President Joe Biden, for his public statements. Paul suggested that there be an investigation into whether the funds were used for gain-of-function research that involved modifying pathogens to better penetrate humans. Oh my gosh, some of this is stuff I don't know if I should be saying. So they removed the video. They suspended Paul's account for a week. The senator slammed the company, saying that this is how that YouTube now thinks they're smart enough to and godly enough that it can censor even constitutionally protected speech, a badge of honor.
Vegan asks, since Rockvan is such an exclusive platform, which is the preferred space we should gather to support your content? Lucky and Steve. And
Rumble and Odysee are the only other platforms that I'm on currently.
Yep. Those are the other two, and we might move to a third one, but that's probably not for a while. It's just right now, 3 is what we get for what we get. So
yeah, we can stream 3, but I mean, we could be putting our our content up other places.
Yeah.
But those are where like we're focused right now. YouTube is where we have the largest audience. I think I only have like 70 something followers over on Rumble, and like
we would love to get all those
40
YouTube people to be on Rumble, because that would be the best thing for us to just make an exit from there, because they're not going to change. They're just going to keep getting tighter and tighter and tighter and clamping down on what you can say and what you can't say. It's already, we have to like be careful about saying the word mask. It's just, come on.
Yeah, and then it goes on in this article to talk about how YouTube's tightening censorship policies have triggered the rise of alternative video platforms as users seek out digital spaces that protect their freedoms of speech. Exactly, just what we're talking about. This is why. It just backs up exactly what we want. Some of these platforms include Odysee, Rumble, and BitChute. High-profile creators like Democrat presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard, journalist Glenn Greenwald, and Florida Governor Republican Ron DeSantis have all moved to Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble, the front page of Rumble now has like the majority of the live things. And I believe you can just search live and get fuckloads of content and live streams happening.
Yeah.
It used to be not like that. Like, you couldn't just search live and come up with content. It would just be like if people had live in their title or whatever, then it would come up. So they fixed the search a little bit, and they kind of rearranged it. It looks better. It looks at least as cool as YouTube did in 2012.
Thank you, Crystal.
So that's a good thing.
What is this place that you're talking about?
Which other place? What?
Nebula.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I wish that some of the yep, absolutely. You guys make sure oh, yep, you have a wrench in here, right? You should put the link to your website in the chat.
Agro's like, can I see both of Mike's eyes for a moment, please?
Oh.
He wants to make sure he's not drinking.
Oh,
Mike, just
Applejack.
Look at him. Don't look so surprised.
He said, "Why don't you guys move to Nebula?" I don't know where that is. I don't know what this is.
It's a streaming service like YouTube. Well, we'll have to investigate that, because there's about 8,000 other ones.
Thank you, Applejack, for the $5 tip.
Thank you, Applejack, for that $5 tip and your question, because that's just another place to look.
Yeah, and this is why you guys have wrenches. So Yep has this awesome website that they've been working on, and you guys should go check it out.
every time I do it, Nebula, I don't even know her. Like vegan loses her mind every time I make one of those jokes. Yeah, those fuck faces want to put soap in my potty mouth. Fuck them. Fuck their entire family.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you're cracking me up.
I'm with Salty 100%. Those little bastards.
So we've hinted out who Neal is if you've been paying attention.
Neo. See, I wish I would have got like a little quickie of Neal from the Young Ones. Remember Neal from the Young Ones? He was the hippie
Everett
on the show, The Young Ones.
The cat is a maniac today.
Most of you people are way too fucking young to understand what I'm talking about.
Neal looks like he's wearing earrings in this.
So what if he is?
I don't know.
I don't either. Let's see if they're nice.
Nebula.tv. All right. Well, we will check that out.
Little says, I just put flea drops on 4 cats and they think I'm a total jerk now.
Oh my gosh. You can put diatomaceous earth on the cats too.
Yep.
And
it's better for them.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
I mean, it can make animals itchy.
Yeah.
But it's that's what people dust their chickens with a lot to keep
my chicken. Remember
keep
that
bugs
song?
and stuff down. It's actually
I won't take you behind the barn and dust that chicken. Come on, girl. Take you down behind the old barnyard and dust my chicken. Hold my beer. Wait a minute. Can I drop a porn link?
No, please don't.
No, that's illegal. Take your cat to Burning Man. No more fleas.
Oh my gosh. Diatomaceous earth also works.
Desert fleas.
And if anybody has anything like where they ever had an issue where they were concerned about bed bugs or anything like that, I found out I had a friend that had them, and I gave him some of this was like years and years ago because I use this stuff. I've always used this stuff like to keep ants out and stuff too. Out of the house.
It's not running the show.
What?
Snow Leopard said Odysee is not running your show. What the hell, man? It's supposed to be.
Uh-oh.
It's supposed to be running the damn shoot.
But yeah.
Are you on the right channel? Because there's like 2 different things you can be on. Oh, I can't sign in over here. How the fuck? I can't fix it. It's unfixable. Tune in tomorrow, though, because we're going to do another show, too.
Yeah.
It'll be even...
Tomorrow we are going to have...
more technical than this one.
We're going to be doing a Twitter's Spaces, and we're going to be streaming it to the platforms as well. So even people that are not on Twitter, you'll be able to participate in the chats. And whatever streaming place you're on, or you can, if you are on Twitter, and you can ask, questions, and we'll try to get them as much as we can. And if not, we will be on Twitter as well. So, do not click whatever Applejack put on. Don't click that.
He's on that one. Okay, let me click on that and see what that happens. What happened? Is it working?
Okay, so
it's supposed to be on right now, but it didn't do anything.
It's not coming up as like not running over here.
What in the hell is that? That's weird. It's just like I clicked on it and then it sent me there, but then it like froze halfway before it got to the page, and it says it isn't live right now, but the chat is. Check back to check the stream. Should be streaming to it, unless this
that's the wrong one.
It's the wrong one. That's why, because it's the other one. It's what's the title of the other one? Lucky Burrito Art or something.
I don't know. That's why I don't want to get into all this.
Okay, super duper. Glad we could resolve that.
I don't know. You made me too many channels over there.
There's literally 2.
No, she said there were 3 earlier.
No.
There should only be 1. It's confusing otherwise. I've said this, though. I've expressed this. So, anyway.
But it is streaming to Odysee on the other fucking link.
Okay, so it's the wrong link.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I'm
So
trying
maybe
to
put
say.
the right link into the YouTube chat.
Yeah. I
Um,
just said I can't sign out of here. So
okay, Steve, what do you want from me right now? What can I do for you
you
that
don't
you
have to do
need right
anything.
now?
I'm trying to tell you that I can't change.
Okay, then can we get on with what we're doing?
I'm stopping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. So anyway, Neal Mohan is a new Indian American CEO of YouTube. So he's taken charge as of today. His promotion is to the CEO of YouTube. And Susan is stepping down after 25 years, after she started the tech giant that started in her garage 25 years ago. Isn't that crazy? So she's 54, and the reason she's resigned, we've already said she was going to focus on family and stuff. So, we got a chat that said from Applejack that says, "Stever, I told you not to click that." He said,
Okay.
"He said, Stever, I said, don't click that."
But I had to click it. It was the wrong thing.
Oh no. So he's a Stanford graduate. He's also worked with Microsoft and sits on the board of Stitch Fix and geometrics and biotechnology company 23andMe. So one of the companies that collected everybody's DNA. Now he's going to be the CEO of a tech giant. I don't know, when there's so much cross reference between these companies and, they're on the boards of these different companies, it makes me a little bit more worried about it. Like, if he's on the board of 23andMe, is he selling 23andMe our data, or are they, like, where is that lead? So they've worked together for like 15 years, and Google during the DoubleClick acquisition in 2007 later became the senior vice president of display and video ads. He became the YouTube's chief products officer in 2015. So he came over to Google during the DoubleClick acquisition of 2017 and later became senior vice president of display and video ads. He became YouTube's chief products officer in 2015. I don't know. This guy is sus to me. What do you guys think of this guy? And I have his biography, all of his information. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. So, what else do we know about this guy? He was born in 1976 in India. He's 47. He's an Aries, because, that's important. Graduate from Stanford University, 5'7". I don't know why they put like all of his weight now. Look at what his net worth is. $350 million. Do you think he's going to be in touch with the average YouTuber?
I don't think he's going to be that in touch.
I think that,
How long does he work there? At the top of the fucking pyramid?
Well, let's see. What did we just say? He video ads from 2008 to 2015. And then prior to working at Google, he worked at a firm that provided online advertising services that was bought by Google in 2007. So, I mean, like, it's been a while. It's been a while. He graduated from Stanford University with a BS in electrical engineering and an MBA from Stanford Graduate School of Business.
Okay.
Yeah.
That costs a lot of money. Get one of them.
Yeah.
Even though it's only a few years, you know.
So,
Still,
yeah. 2008. We're here again. It says 2008.
You think he still has college debt?
I don't think that he has college debt. I don't think that he worries about anything. I think.
Sure.
Yeah. So, it's just crazy to me, like how much money this dude has, and like the fact that he just like, yeah, I still want to work and censor people.
Salty says he spent 6 months as a gardener on Little St. James Island.
Who did? Salty did or Neal?
I think Neal is who he was talking about.
So they say he's married, but they don't just like none of the other stuff is disclosed. An estimated 350 million is.
He also says that that guy looks like he did butt stuff to get into his.
Oh, he could have. I don't know.
Nothing's
out of the order. I mean, like nothing's out of like range. Like you never know.
Exclusive fraternity, and it was dependent on butt stuff if he got in.
Oh, that's. Do you have some evidence of that?
Very elite butt stuff. You know, you have to be a certain.
I don't know if we can say that.
I don't know if it's true.
I don't know if I want to get on the bad side of the new CEO.
Really, you know, it's hearsay. At this
you know,
I heard it from Salty.
Susan already doesn't like us.
I heard it from Salty. I don't know. I don't know if you know, it's not like I don't know if Salty went to that same fraternity. If he's speaking from experience.
Can you imagine $350 million and being like, yeah, I'm still gonna work.
Yeah, I'll call
like
him.
Retire, go get a fucking pottery studio, you know, learn to paint, do something else.
Learn to paint the homeless, you know, feed the moderately poor.
How about help people? Like, no. He's only a few years older than me. 4 years.
Well, good to see you, Brother Oz, and enjoy your day, sir. 350M? Really? Whoa. We're talking about a whole system, a whole caste system.
So I have a video that I'm going to share.
I can never stop.
Where we can kind of like see a little bit about his background and who he is.
Let's get to know Neal Mohan. He spoke in Congress about dropping the hammer on the dissenting voices. Yes, he did.
Yeah, we have some more video footage of this lovely guy.
Watch. Everybody, please subscribe to us on Rumble because he'll probably just assassinate our channel before we can stop.
I know, they're gonna be like. All right, I'm gonna mute us so that we can play the video without weird loopy things. Oh, you see Neal? Look at him. He's in the corner there.
Smug little bastard.
Over 2 billion users and millions of content creators and media partners. He began his tech career in the 1990s at DoubleClick, which is widely regarded as the original internet ad tech company. He was instrumental in scaling the company up until its acquisition by Google in 2007. Following the acquisition, Neal led Google's video and display advertising strategy, which transformed YouTube's nascent offerings into one of the company's largest business channels. Today, Neal leads all product, user experience, safety, and trust across YouTube, and is responsible for the creation and enforcement of policies and guidelines that dictate what content is allowed on the platform. A note to our audience, as we go through the discussion today, you can ask questions in the chat function on your screen. We will try to get as many of the questions answered as we can. And I've had the pleasure of knowing Neal for about 15 years, going back to our time working together at Google. We're excited to have him with us here today. Welcome, Neal.
Thanks, David. It's great to be here, and it's great to see you. I remember a lot of those Google days very, very fondly, working together back in the Building 42 days.
Yep, Building 42. Well, let's start off. I think everyone in the audience always likes to understand people's career story, how they end up in.
Oh my God, they're
startups.
so
Can you
excited.
tell us about your early career and how you got into the world of technology startups?
Sure. So I'll share a little bit, and of course, by doing this, I'm going to be dating myself. But I entered the industry, the tech industry, back in the mid '90s. I graduated with a degree in EE and took a lot of CS classes. I've always been interested in technology, even before college. And so I always knew that working with computers, doing something in computer science and technology was always going to be the career path that I wanted to be on. And so that was sort of one aspect. The other thing that I would say is when I graduated, when I came into the workforce, it was at a really pivotal moment. And I think in that sense, I was very fortunate. Whenever you're able to start your career really at the inflection of kind of a big sort of technology change, it's always super interesting. It leads to really interesting opportunities at an incredibly rapid clip. And for me, that was, simply put, it was the dawn of the internet. Netscape had just come out with its first browser technology. It had just started as a startup, down the road here in Silicon Valley. There were lots of companies really excited about making this transition to this brand new thing called the internet. And that is when I had, started my career. I started as a management consultant, working with a lot of technology companies, finding ways to bring this new emerging technology around the internet to Fortune 500 companies. And very quickly after, I realized that instead of advising them, I really wanted to work at one of these startups. And so that's when I joined one of the really early internet advertising technology companies called NetGravity. So that's a little bit about how my career started in the tech business.
Great, and you've been a longtime veteran of the ad industry. And when you look today, all these major digital platforms, Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, all their businesses have been powered by advertising technology. You ended up at DoubleClick pretty early on, which was the original internet ad tech company. And a side note here, DoubleClick was actually a Greylock portfolio company. We co-led the Series A. But you were there in the late '90s up and through 2007. Can you tell us about your early experience there and what was going on during your time there?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say a few things. And so going back to what I was just saying before, it was really the early.
Oh, Neal. Oh, Neal.
Oh, God. See, you've already generated interest, Crystal. I think you should start that site immediately. Make them work for it, though. Those toes got to be worth like 10 grand a piece. If you play it out right.
Wow.
Yeah, you did get big money for feet.
All right, I guess it's time for me to put my web feed up on there. I mean,
I know what is happening to the YouTube. Did they just making the thing go around and around? It's just
no, I don't have it playing. I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay. It's just
okay. Great. Well, let's shift.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it was doing that.
Because they don't want you to play it. They're like, don't play that. That's Neal, and that's not flattering. We don't. He does not look like a jack-o'-lantern.
All right, I'm going to play a little bit more of this, so I'm going to mute us.
Gears back into trust and safety, ethical responsibilities on the platform. YouTube started as a way for anyone to upload content, about anything. And obviously, when you're at a scale of 2 billion users, people are doing stuff that may not be that responsible on the platform. How do you enforce guidelines, without it deviating from your original intent?
How do you enforce your censorship on people?
I'd say a couple things there. So first of all, as we've talked about here, previously in this discussion, YouTube has always been an open platform. That is the power of YouTube. Back to the mission statement that I described about, giving everyone a voice, showing them the world. Like that happens because it is an open platform. There aren't gatekeepers, and so a creator that whose ideas or creativity might have been shot down before in traditional media, they can build an audience on YouTube if they have something to share with the world, build a community, whether they come from, an underrepresented minority or another person who might have been, on the margins of, society or what have you. They can actually build a presence on our platform, and that's really, really powerful. But just because we've had an open platform, it doesn't mean that we've always, it's been anything goes. We've always had community guidelines that govern the rules of the road of that open platform. From the very early days, we didn't allow adult content on the platform. And so the way I think about it is it's really a balance between those things. And in some sense, the community guidelines that we have in place that govern content on the YouTube platform is what actually allows it to remain an open platform in the first place. So they sound like principles that are at tension, but they actually sort of reinforce each other as well. And that's sort of like a core component to how YouTube works. But of course, as you're pointing out in your question, YouTube has grown, right? If the analogy is, YouTube back when it started over a decade ago was like a small village or a small town. Everybody sort of knew each other. Some of these OG creators, they all knew each other. The audiences were small. And so the norms were sort of there in terms of sort of governing the content, etc. But now YouTube has grown into this sort of major metropolis, if you will, that is at scale, where not everybody knows each other. There are bad actors, just like in a big city, there's crime. And so we basically recognize, and this was kind of one of the salient moments I called out earlier, that we need to update our.
He's comparing a big amount of people to a big city to crime. Like, oh, there's a lot of YouTubers. There must be a lot of crime.
Rooting out the bad actors or bad content, so that the 99.9% of creators and viewers that are on the platform looking to do the right thing can actually thrive. And so that has involved
do
the
right thing, meaning groupthink
or harassment, violent extremism, medical misinformation. Obviously, the last couple of years of the pandemic has seen a lot of that, and we've had to try to stay on top of that as much as possible. And then building out not just the new set of policies, which we've done over the course of the last few years, but then building out a mechanism, both a technology mechanism and a people-powered mechanism to enforce those policies at scale, so that we can be transparent about what the rules of the road are on YouTube. But then if there is a violative content on the platform, we can remove it as quickly and as efficiently as possible at the scale that YouTube operates with around the world. And so those are the areas where we've made a lot of investment over the last few years, building out a more robust sort of policy framework, and then building out the enforcement infrastructure that allows us to put those rules to work as effectively and at as much scale as possible.
Did you hear that? The enforcement infrastructure? Like, who the hell talks like that?
Enforcement infrastructure.
The enforcement infrastructure from Neal. This guy is going to be has enforcement infrastructure, aka censorship.
Censorship. There's the ding, 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 ding. Cut down all streams right now. They said the C word. I do like the triangular shape of his nose, though. He does have like an interesting kind of owl-esque
violative content. Yeah.
Nasal.
So, like,
area.
telling people to think for themselves and use their critical thinking skills and all that. Like that we are enemy number one for Neal.
Violative content. Exactly, Rob. Yes, and we can only be humbled at your feet, Sir Applejack 59 of the celebrity and the upper echelon of comedic wizardry of the likes of Rob Schneider and Jimmy Dore times 2. He's a superstar, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know. I'm not sure if everybody was aware that Applejack had risen to such heights of glory. So if you're not sure who you're talking to, let me just tell you.
Yeah,
he's legit. He's one of them. What do you call him? He's a banger. One of them kids with the bright light and the fast car.
Applejack, whatever. I freaking love you. That's it. So, here's a great article and about YouTube looking for new ways to stopping misinformation spreading online. You got to make sure you keep those people under control. And this is from February 18th of 2022. So this is from a year ago. Yeah. See, this is what they want from us. See this little like angel halo over the YouTube symbol? That's what they want from us. They want us to groupthink and not go outside their guidelines. And if they change it, then we have to preemptively somehow know that YouTube has changed their guidelines on something that you've already said that was fine on the platform all this time. And then they can come and get you. Like, so you got to be aware of all of that, right?
Like speculating about alleged butt stuff and fraternities and things. that could be misconstrued as misinformation. We may have been misinformed about that. Let me just get that straight right now. So that later on down the road, when that becomes illegal to say stuff like that about Neal Mohan.
Yeah, that's who we're going to talk about right here.
We're just gonna get that right off the table, okay?
We're going to just say that, you know, we're going to have all the links so you can check out all this information that we're showing you. You'll be able to check it out right in the show notes.
Damn, you should have been following all of us. Am I following Crystal? I don't know. I will be.
I think so. So Neal Mohan. Neal Mohan's the guy who works down at the mine. Oh, that's the mine guy. I want Mohan. Okay. So the chief product officer at YouTube wrote an extensive post about tackling misinformation on the service. It focuses on 3 areas. The first, and so the reason I'm going into these articles is because I wanted to see like what he's already been known to say and what he's been known to do. How can we predict how he's going to behave being the CEO now of YouTube? So it focuses on 3 areas. The first of which is stopping these videos before they go viral. It classifies conspiracy theories such as claims 5G caused the spread of the big C. An example of content that violates its guidelines, but some new narratives are too fresh to be caught by the company's systems.
Too fresh, man.
As such, YouTube will leverage an even more targeted mix of classifiers, keywords, and additional languages and information from regional analysis to identify narratives our main classifier doesn't catch.
Narrative identified.
So he talks about these 4 R's, YouTube's 4 R's of responsibility, which is remove, raise, reduce, and reward.
Reading, write, and arithmetic. That's what it used to be. Reading, write, and arithmetic.
So the second area of concern is sharing of misinformation across platforms. YouTube says it's lower the number of recommendation it makes for borderline, in parentheses, videos that don't quite warrant removal.
That's right.
But these are often promoted on other sites with links and embeds. Links. Oh my God. So like you can find this information somewhere else. In other words, is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
The company
links.
The company has considered removing the share button or disabling links for these videos, but worries that it may be going too far and restricting viewers' freedoms. It's also concerning interstitial warning that the clip may contain misinformation. So they're like, how far can we go with the censorship? Can we really go that far? Can we go far enough where there won't be a link to a video? Or that we're going to clip it in there and say that it's misinformation? Finally, YouTube is looking to better tackle misinformation in languages other than English. It notes that what's considered borderline content varies in each country. That's interesting. One option is to partner with non-governmental organizations to better understand regional and local misinformation. So there's like global misinformation and local
That's
misinformation.
Big and small to you and me. Near.
As with all internet platforms, YouTube must walk a fine line between banning anything it considers harmful and overtending its reach to the point where it's accused of censorship. We need to be careful to balance limiting the spread of potential harmful information while allowing space to discuss and educate and education about sensitive and controversial topics.
I'm sorry, YouTube has just outlawed yawning in their terms of service.
Stop. And what else does he say? This guy is really, I mean, he's not winning it for me. He's really not. I mean, do you guys think that this guy seems like he's going to be any different or better than Susan? To me, he doesn't, and I'll show you why. This is from 2020, where he said that YouTube creators espousing opinions in their basement can't provide context on the news. So YouTube is cementing the power of the already established players, making it difficult for small creators to get traction.
That was the sound of cementing.
That is what Neal Mohan, the chief products officer of YouTube, that's what he's been doing. So the platform that was created to let anyone with a camera have a voice, they suggested that independent YouTubers who share their opinion on the news can't provide context, and said that this is why they need to be suppressed and censored when it comes to newsworthy topics. Right here in this article. Like, so this is from 2020. This isn't even like brand new. This is April 27th of 2020. So, you know, he's got it already in his head. Like, this is just, you know, that we can't give context. Like, we're not intelligent enough. Like, what does this mean? We can't give context to newsworthy topics.
Okay.
He's like, stick to the cat videos. Stick to the cat videos and silly dances. Don't talk about anything serious or outside of what is allowed.
That's right. Everybody Macarena.
Why are you telling everyone to Macarena?
I don't know. Why not? Everybody should. It's, you know, the night is young.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think he's going to be worse too, Rob. I think that we are in for. Oh my God, that wasn't on the stream the whole time.
No.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Because you were reading it so beautifully, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
they were vibing it.
All right. So he made comments during an interview with Protocol editor at large, Dave Pierce, when he was asked about whether health authorities changing their advice about the big C in such a way, changing their recommendations about the things that covered your face, is causing YouTube to be slightly behind when it comes to moderating content.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He then said that this is the reason authoritative voices need to be boosted on YouTube. Like, he literally said authoritative voices. So, you know, who are your authoritative voices? Who are they? It's going to be the mainstream media. It's going to be anybody who is, you know, doing the approved narrative. It's not going to be the people having a difference of an opinion, or even if it is a popular opinion and they're not the ones that are keeping up, because usually mainstream really doesn't have the populist opinion. So he said, quote, "This is the reason why I feel strongly that when users are looking for information, making sure that we're rising up authoritative, oh my God, authoritative voices is important, because the way that the question around masks would be covered by a credible sort of authoritative voice channel is that there would be context. There will be explanations behind why a particular mask decision is made or not. And so the user, the viewer of that content on our platform, can make an informed decision for him or herself." Well, I don't.
Yeah, I might have an affliction where I'm like predisposed to being violative. I'm sorry. It's just it happens.
Can we get a note? Can we get a note for excusing that?
Can my mom say, like, I don't have to go to gym because I I'm prone to get into fucking arguments with jackasses and asshats. It's happened before, you know. I'm just saying it seems to be a pattern somehow. Yeah, it's the that abusive relationship I was talking about earlier.
And I don't understand how it's like everybody that's doing a YouTube show is like in their basement. Like this is always like the reference, as if like that disqualifies them somehow if they're like in a basement. I mean, like, I'm not in a basement. I'm in my kitchen. And that's the thing, is that content comes from all places, but it's always this like insult, like, oh, you're in your mom's basement. No.
Yeah, I like Rob was saying, he has that same kind of thing where like just words come out when you say stuff, you know, and that's how it is. And that makes you violated by nature, because we're made to be violated, because from the moment that we're born, we get all of this disinformation jammed down our throats for our entire life that's supposed to shape the way that we feel about our country and all of the things and all the stuff. And you have to be proud and then ultimately you're like, each time I'm confronted with some bullshit, I'm so sick of confronting bullshit that just by nature I call it when I see it. And there it is. And every time there's a fight, and every time there's a disagreement, like, and you have to get on top of the truth and present evidence, and you know, and like debate friggin' things. Are like, the sky is blue. No, it isn't, Steve. And I'll tell you why. Here's 11 reasons why the sky is not blue. And but
because there was a train derailment.
Because there's a train derailment, and also because I'm of the opinion that I want that person, no matter how inane his fucking 12 points or 11 points of interest of why the sky is blue, as he's articulating them, you know what I mean? I have time to sit there and go, yep, you're right. You're all the things you're saying. I understand that you believe those to be true, and that's okay with me. So you can say whatever the fuck. But here's the thing. The sky is blue. and well, don't you feel better having just told me your opinion of it? And you know what I mean? Like, I'm here for everyone's opinion. You can think whatever you want, and you can question whatever you want. And the fact is that we
prefer you to question
things.
I
prefer people not take our snide fucking silly commentary on this guy who's going to be running YouTube probably stricter than Susan was, most likely. You know, think about it. She started with them, right? And stuff has been like systematically memory hold and all of this stuff for fucking decades now, right? You think it's gonna get better? No, they're just tightening down the ship. They're just getting even tighter, and that's the way it's gonna be. So we have to figure out a way to still be able to be violative, you know, within reason, because everybody should be. Everybody should question things and not just accept and be complacent and groupthink. You know, even if you're a fucking crazy motherfucker, I want to hear you. I want to understand why you think what you're thinking before I tell you what a jackass you are. You know what I mean? I want to entertain all the possibilities, because it could turn out, and it sometime, well, once, I guess a couple of times, it turned out that I was wrong about things. And, you know, that happens. You'll get that.
It's about being honest, though. If you get something wrong, that's the thing.
That's
like if you're honest about shit, when you get something wrong, I have so much more respect for somebody that will be like, yeah, I got that fucking wrong. Like, and I can admit that and, you know, talk it out. Or even if we don't agree on something 100%, I'm okay with being in that place. I don't agree with Steve 100% of the time.
That's what I mean, though, by being like, I'm here for
people need to be more comfortable with being not agreeing with people. Right. Like,
it is okay.
Yeah. Like,
nobody said we have to agree.
No, we don't always have to agree.
Ma said we don't got to agree.
it's something that, like, you know, I think people focus on too much, is that people want to naturally, like, you know, it's easier when you disagree, you understand, and you just agree, and it makes life easier, and yay, we're on the same page. But it's also okay to completely disagree and just respect that you guys agree to disagree.
Yes. Both things can be.
I don't expect
the
everybody to
same
agree with me
time.
100% of the time. That is unrealistic. And anybody asking you to agree with them or replace your opinion and not give you evidence as to why, or, you know,
Maybe they
if
drop a
they're
blue
trying to force that opinion on you and it's that or else, then you're looking at cult-like mentality, and that's not what we're looking for. You know, there is no cult leader here. You're not going to find that.
I beg to
I'm going to
differ.
tell you to think for
Applejack.
yourself, and I'm going to
Applejack.
tell you, like, let's question things. Let's question things together. Let's question them separately. Let's, like, have a meeting of the minds. Let's try to change each other's perspective on things, and maybe we'll meet somewhere in the middle where we, you know,
That's
bend
just-
on two different things, and we're like, yeah, I can meet you there, or I can at least see
That's
your
just
perspective.
Crazy. You're just talking crazy. I think Applejack's the cult leader. He said.
Oh, he is.
He said MSNBC is completely honest. It's the most honest something or other. And he's plugging himself on Twitter, which is important. Everybody can do that. Please, if you have a Twitter or a thing that you want to share with other people, do so. We encourage that. And I look at most things like I'm possibly wrong. I feel like I learn more confirming my positions through mental debate. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Because even if you're kind of confident about something, but you're not entirely sure you have the entire thing, it's better to shut the fuck up and listen. And whoa, how about that? Somebody else knew more than I did about a thing. Well, that happens like daily, about 8,000 times a day. If that was like an assault on someone's ego or person, then I would, you know what I mean? It would be an entirely different thing, but it's really not. It's not. You can learn things. It doesn't hurt. You don't have to be defensive about everything. You don't have to think. You don't have to like internalize questions as being asked of you or your character or something. You know, when somebody poses something, it's a question. It doesn't mean it's directed at you. You know. That kind of.
I mean, if you name somebody
internalization.
directly and say,
Sure.
I'm asking this person
I'm asking-
directly this
yeah.
question,
Mhm.
then yes, they can
But if you're
definitely
generally
assume that
asking
it's them.
questions about things.
But
a lot
yeah,
of
if
times people will internalize that as like some sort of affront on them or an attack. You know?
yeah, like they take
not.
something that is a general question or a general inquiry or some kind of transparency that you're seeking, and then they internalize it. So what does that say to me? That says to me that there must be some guilt there, or like ownership of it. Like if you're kind of taking on the responsibility of that, then that might be something that you as an individual might need to deal with yourself, because it doesn't mean that that's what the person's putting on you.
Here's
you
some
know?
things about being, put on you. Little's selling baby Jesus butt plugs for when you want to cram your religion up someone else's ass.
Oh boy.
And Snow, he says, you better make those whistles.
Oh boy.
Put holes in them so they whistle. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, and tomorrow night we are covering East Palestine. Snork is going to join us. We're going to be holding a Twitter Spaces. I've never done a Twitter Spaces before, but Ricky Rance is going to be there with me as my co-host, and Steve will be there.
I've been pretty spaced before, man, so I don't know. It should be all right.
And I'm hoping I invited some other people onto our Twitter Spaces, and we're also going to be streaming it to YouTube, Rumble, and Odysee as well. So if you're not able, if you don't have an account on Twitter, and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically, it's almost like Discord, but people can, or a call-in type app that they have on Twitter, and people will be able to ask questions. And we're going to talk about East Palestine and like the aftermath of it and all the things that are happening. And so we're just going to have an open, conversation about it.
And it'll be cool because you'll be able to see it on the stream and 30 seconds sooner on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, but not everybody's able to get on Twitter, so I was like trying to think of like a way where we could reach a much bigger audience and do a Twitter Spaces, but then also make sure that I didn't leave any of our comrades behind.
Crystal, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Yeah, so they're on my channel. There is an actual event scheduled for tomorrow at 9, and that's where I will be streaming the Twitter Spaces too also. So like it will be live on Twitter Spaces on Twitter. You can listen there and participate, or you'll be able to be on any other social media platforms. I just know that there's some limitations with some people that were on Twitter that aren't on Twitter anymore, or people that have never been on Twitter. But I didn't want you guys to be left out of this such an important conversation. So I thought that this would be a good way to do it. And Snork had Friday available, and Ricky was able to join us. So I think it will be a really good, conversation to have. I sent the information out there to a couple different people, and, we'll see who shows up. You never know who is going to show up for Twitter Spaces or how many people it could be.
Mike looks like you're blowing his mind. Looks like you're blowing his mind, man. He's like, she's taking the top of my head off, bro. Monotok. Man, bear, pig. I haven't seen man, bear, pig in a minute. Anthony Malecki. I haven't seen that man, bear, pig. Remember? No, you don't watch South Park. Remember? It was a thing. Somebody had that T-shirt locally, and I used to goof on that all the time. There's a gas station.
Oh my gosh, this remind me. I'm gonna get back to the stream. What we were talking about. I have a video clip to show you guys some stuff. Oh my gosh. I put up a video on Twitter. Maybe if we have time at the end, I can try to find it. Where this guy is just like suddenly in the mall, just yelling and praising Jesus. And then there's this other video I put up on my Twitter where this guy is like talking about how you can't masturbate because it's like against Jesus and stuff.
Don't masturbate on Jesus, bro.
That's
not cool.
I'm like, orgasms are good for your health. That was my response.
Holy hell, they're beating off on Jesus again. These damn kids. Your kids out there in my shed.
That reminded me of that.
Remember Hank Hill? Is anybody as old as I am? For fuck's sake, I feel old every time I reference a cartoon or something that I used to think was funny back in the before times. Everybody, all the young kids. All the young people under 30 are like, what the fuck is he talking about, dude? I don't understand this guy. I think the beard is affecting his memory.
Did you get the time? It's 9. It's the same time that the show started tonight. It's on Twitter tomorrow. So if you're not on my Twitter, it's the @ Lucky Burritos right there that you see. And so
Snowy says masturbation makes your pecker harder.
Oh.
Why? Where? On the plate? Yeah. It's your mom's. She's a slow breadstick eater.
You can eat it.
I don't want the breadstick. Eat the breadstick. Time for the breadstick. Take out the breadstick.
Okay.
No.
Are you ready for a video?
Oh.
Some more Neal. Let's see who this guy is. Are you gonna come say hi, Skyla?
Nobody.
Come on, I'm gonna be putting a movie. I'm gonna be putting a video clip on. Come say hi. Maybe Applejack will send you $5. What if
Not-
he
not
if he
nearly
sends
enough
you
fucking
$5?
push-ups
Will
in
you
here,
come
know what
over?
I'm saying? God damn it.
She said no,
guy
Applejack. She
hanging.
won't do it for $5.
$5. Shit. Shit.
What is happening, Anthony? What happened with this? I don't even know. I'm like completely confused.
Wait a minute. What is going on? I don't know.
Man, Big Bear Pig came back. It was real, and Satan sacrificed himself trying to defeat it, and went to heaven.
And went to heaven. Well,
And then he said he
praise
then signed a contract delaying his return for 5 years.
5 years.
Oh, geez.
5 years. 5.
Oh, that scared the shit out of me, Applejack. Oh my God. Did you see me jump? He said $5 for, come on, Skyla.
He said $5 to see your cute little mug on the TV for a minute.
He just wants to see you for a minute. You gonna give him a hand? Give him a hand? They call you my mini me.
Leo.
They do.
Well, your Cashapp?
I can just send it to you.
Yeah.
They don't charge us a thing, right? Yeah, I can just send it over to you from our Cash App. You guys see that? Did you guys see it?
Time for the meat stick. Take out the meat stick. Take out the meat stick.
You made Applejack really happy.
Oh, shocks
He
my
gave a
brain.
bunch of smiley faces. All right. She's giving you smiley faces back.
Smiley faces.
Skyla, Susan, the CEO of YouTube, has stepped down. It's not really delightful though. It's not. I saw that.
Don't attack the dog.
She dropped an ice cube on his head. No, I hit his head. Skyla dropped the ice cube on Leo's head, guys. You know what Skyla's answer was? She said, propaganda. That's so great. You know, she's my kid. You know, like when she answers that with that.
Yeah, she pushed her fingers up, her glasses up with the middle finger.
I caught that too. I have a picture of her when she was little. And she's got a pair of like overalls on, and she's laying there and she's doing this to me. Like I was like, what the fuck? She was like 6 months old.
I never did the Streamlabs thing on your thing.
Oh no.
It should be able to open over here, yes. I can make a thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna try to
All
figure
right,
it out.
I'm gonna mute and we're gonna play this video. Good night, Rob. Much
Good night,
love.
Rob.
With over half the American population fully vaccinated, a similar hesitancy that affects the climate, as we discussed, lingers about striking the balance between free speech and dangerous lies.
Thanks, Christian. Neal Mohan, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Hari. It's great to be with you.
So, Neal, for our audience to have some scale of how big YouTube is, some of the stats that I think we should remind them of is that there are about 2 billion users of YouTube. They consume about 1 billion hours of video every day, and about 500 hours of new content is uploaded to YouTube every single minute. While there's no doubt that there's phenomenal YouTube videos for all kinds of things that would be helpful in my life, that lack of a gatekeeper also creates an opportunity for people to use your platform to misinform or disinform audiences that might not know any better. So, well, what kinds of steps have you taken in the past few years to try to kind of deprioritize that when it comes to someone searching for the answer to a question?
So that responsibility that you described, Hari, in terms of ensuring that our platform is not a place for misinformation to spread, other types of, what we deem to be violative content on our platform to spread, is my number one priority. It's the top priority of, of all of us at YouTube. If you'll indulge me for a minute, I'll give you sort of our full approach to that challenge. The first step, of course, is that, yes, we are an open platform, and I'm a firm believer in the power of that open platform. Our mission is to give everyone a voice and show them the world, which is about giving everybody a creative outlet, a business outlet, but also giving people, as you're describing, access to information that helps them make their lives better. And I think that comes from an open platform. But it has never been anything goes. We've always had community guidelines on our platform. And those community guidelines, whether it's around misinformation or hate speech or harassment, child safety, violent extremism, govern the content that can remain on our platform or that will get removed. In addition to that first R of remove, we have 3 other R's that I would argue are equally and if not more important. The next one is we call raise. And that's about when users are looking for information around a fast-breaking news event, for example, or a health crisis like the COVID-19 pandemic. We endeavor to raise up content from authoritative sources, from channels like our news partners or health authorities, whether it's the CDC or the World Health Organization or other local health authorities in countries around the world. And you've seen that run on YouTube. Every time you open the app, you probably noticed that COVID-19 news shelf running there. It's been running for over a year and a half. The third R we call reduce. And that's about reducing recommendations of content that might not have been quite policy violative.
I wanted to stop it there because he goes into that first part. So, oh my gosh, I totally just drew a blank on what I was thinking. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Why
you do this?
I don't know why I did that.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh yeah, it was the like their news source right here, how they show you. Oh yeah, we pump up the authoritative source. So what is it? It's GMA and FDA and NBC News, and it's all these always the same companies.
News shelf running there. It's been running for over a year and a half. The third R we call reduce, and that's about reduce.
That's where we come in. We have reduced viewership. They reduce our content. They make sure that there's less.
That's what they do.
It's not seen. All right, I'm going to play a little bit more of this guy, Neal. Yeah, exactly. Big Pharma approved.
Reducing recommendations of content that might not have been quite policy violative, might be in a blurry space, might be in a faster moving space where there aren't yet content community guideline policies. We endeavor to reduce recommendations of that type of content in our home feed.
It's like, yeah, we suppress it. We just don't let anybody see this content that might not be what we want, what we don't approve of. Because Neal feels that he is the arbiter of truth. He is the arbiter of what is real and what isn't real. And, people, YouTubers just in our basements, we shouldn't know the difference between things. And we can't add context. I mean, he literally thinks we're that freaking stupid. That's what this guy thinks of people. And he's a millionaire running. He's going to be running YouTube now. And I think it's going to be worse than Susan. because he's going to have something to prove coming in after her. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have to, like, you know, really step it up. And you know, because that's usually what happens when something changes. And they're, you know, out with the old boss and with the new one, they have to, like, you know, one up that old boss. And he's already on board with all the censorship.
Oh, yeah.
He is, like, fully engaged. Like, I want censorship. I like to censor people. I like to tell them what is true and what is not, and what content gets to grow and what doesn't. Really messed up.
In the videos that we recommend to watch after you're done consuming a video on YouTube, that's the third R. And the final R is called reward. And that's the recognition that, you know, 99.9% of the creators on our platform are looking to do the right thing. They're looking to build an audience, build a business, and we want to reward those creators. We want to direct, you know, the financial resources that are generated through what we talked about in terms of advertising, et cetera, to those creators that are looking to do the right thing. And it's that 4 R's approach: remove, raise, reduce, and reward, that is our comprehensive approach, not just to misinformation, but to other types of content that we deem to be problematic and violative on our platform.
It's kind of a fine line to walk.
So this guy is the gatekeeper of the information, of the videos. This guy gets to tell you what is okay and what's not, and how he feels about it. Not whether or not, like, it actually violates the law, or if it actually, you know, like, causes harm to people. There's no, like, you know, group consensus. This single guy gets to tell you what these are. This is our standard. And, you know, people will come in and be like, yeah, well, you know, it's a private company. Well, that is true, but at what point does a private company, how far do they get to infringe upon our rights? All right, I'm gonna mute us up and play this a little bit more.
Walk between what is free speech, what is safety, what's an unpopular opinion versus a dangerous one. And in a way, you are the app, the company that is tasked with figuring that out on the fly, with 500 hours of video coming at you every minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think I will go back to what I alluded to before, which is I am a firm believer, and I think many of us at YouTube are, around the power of an open platform. You know, one of my favorite examples of the power of our open platform is the gold medal winner at the recent Olympic Games in Tokyo in the javelin was a young Indian man who learned to throw the javelin by watching YouTube videos. It was an incredibly powerful, inspiring story, and that is the power of an open platform. But you're pointing out something that I completely agree with. Misinformation in particular, by nature, is fast-moving. It changes regularly. We have seen that play out in the midst of this global pandemic. There's been all sorts of types of misinformation that I simply would not have been able to predict even a few days before they became a trend. You know, for example, it sounds like ancient history now, but when the coronavirus was associated with 5G cell towers, that was a piece of information that sort of came out of the blue. But the reason why we were able to act is we had in place a framework around medical misinformation, even before the pandemic, that was based on you know, things like false cures, based on actions that would prevent people from, or content that would prevent people from seeking timely medical intervention. And we use that framework to write the specific rules around COVID COVID-19 misinformation. And in fact, we were the first platform as early as February 2020 to have a comprehensive COVID-19 misinformation policy. Now, did that mean that we needed to continue to adjust that with new types of misinformation, popping up in the midst of the pandemic? Of course we did, to make sure that viewers around the world were getting credible, high quality information. But again, it's not just about the content that we remove. Also, remember, when users were looking for that information, either searching on YouTube or watching videos, we were recommending content that came from authoritative sources, health outlets. We ran information panels on the order of hundreds of billions of times for viewers all over the world.
Do you guys notice how many times he says authoritative sources in this? He keeps saying the authoritative sources as if that, as if that's like a good thing, the authoritative sources. No, they didn't have, it wasn't a C policy before 2020, but it was a medical misinformation policy. They had that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to mute us and go back to the video a little bit more.
That had links to local health authorities with the most recent information about how you could protect your health, protect your families in the midst of this very fast-moving pandemic.
Do you have any idea of how those panels worked? Because at the same time, there was research that looked into, I think it was about a dozen people that spread enormous amounts of vaccine and coronavirus misinformation. And they were on all kinds of social platforms. They were profiting off of misinforming others, in some cases very intentionally so. So I'm wondering if
that is a view-weighted random sampling of videos across our corpus. We measure it, and the way that we hold ourselves accountable at YouTube is a metric called the violative view rate. And that is a view-weighted random sampling of videos across our corpus that we look at and evaluate to see if those videos contain misinformation, contain content that is violative of our policies. And in a nutshell, we try to drive that number down as close as possible to zero. And of course, in a fast-moving world of misinformation, other types of content, speech, etc., it is not quite zero. In fact, the latest metric there is, I think, between 0.19% and 0.21%, so relatively small. But that means that out of 10,000 videos, about 20 were deemed to be of the nature that you're describing. And in the interest of transparency, a few months ago, we've actually started to publish that number, the violative view rate number, on a quarterly basis externally as well.
You mentioned the 0.19 to 0.21 number. If it was 10,000, you'd have 20 videos, right? But you've got billions and billions of videos that are on there. So if it's 0.19 to 0.20, that's still hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of videos that are kind of slipping through the cracks. I mean, how do you improve that?
We made, I think, a dramatic improvement in this area over the last few years. For example, recommendations of that sort of harmful misinformation, borderline content is down 70%. We've made dozens of changes to our recommendation algorithms to do that, in addition to content that we remove. But again, our work is by no means done. We're not perfect, and we're going to continue to chip away at it.
People are concerned about what they would call the rabbit hole, how the recommendation engine leads down paths that are more sensational and more sticky. On the sort of super harmful side, you can see increased political radicalization. And the less harmful side, you've watched a child start with a soccer video, and then 15 minutes later, you come back in the room, and it's like gory animals eating up.
Seriously. This is like oh my gosh. So, you don't want people going down rabbit holes. You don't want people questioning too many things. You don't want people like figuring out different, things that like the government, that came up with the term conspiracy theory. That is a government term to squash dissenting voices and free thinkers. That is exactly what that is. If you look at the entire picture of this and you look at the whole, I often refer to puzzles, you know what I mean? If you look at all the pieces of this and you start to go, okay, well, so he's openly admitting, I push authoritarian sources. we don't want people going down, like these rabbit holes. We don't want people to like steer away and question things and do their own, use their own critical thinking skills and do research and find information out there. We want them to just have to rely on us. We can't let the mainstream media die. We can't, because who funds them? Who does their ads with all these companies? Like all these guys up on the top are all working in this cog of a machine to make us all do the same things. And that is the level of control that is happening. Because you got to remember, YouTube is part of Google and the alphabet. So, their main goal is to mine us, to get our data, to get to control us and what we do and how we spend time on their platform. And that's why we need to be smart about it. We need to think about it. We need to be evaluative of it and understand what is happening and what they're doing. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this.
Other animals video that they shouldn't have been watching, but it's hard for people to wrap their heads around what is at the core of this recommendation and how is it structured to get to these other end results, and why can't we stop that?
When we have looked at it in an aggregate basis, we haven't really seen evidence of that. Again, that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened, for individual viewers anecdotally, et cetera. But we have looked at that, and actually third-party researchers have looked at that as well, and have not seen a recommendation sort of moving people towards more of this polarized type of content. But what I will say that's even, I would say sort of even kind of one level above that is we don't want that to happen. We don't want our recommendations to push people to those extremes. That is not, I think, good for from a responsibility as a global platform standpoint. And I'll also make the point that it is not fundamentally good for us as a business.
I get that
Yeah, they don't want you thinking outside of the box. That's why they want to control the narrative, control what everybody's seeing, and have approved sources. It's not because they're trying to let people be pushed to the extreme or see anything that might not be within that comfort zone for them, or might not be one of the mainstream media sources. Of course not. Come on now. That would be bad for the YouTube's business model. They want to keep you on their platform as long as possible. That's always their end goal.
Researchers might not see it, but we've interviewed former white supremacists on this program, and there have been plenty of cases where people tell you that here's the way to beat the algorithm, here's the way to be more sensational, get more clicks, and be more edgy, and that these rabbit holes exist. And once you are watching a vaccine misinformation thing, the next thing you're kind of shown a flat earth thing, the next realize you're in a 9/11 conspiracy truther thing. No human could ever sit there and watch all the incoming YouTubes and moderate and say, okay, this is going to be okay, and this is questionable, let's put this in this bin, let's put this in that bin. How do you train an algorithm to do that? We are by no means perfect. We were going to continue to chip away. We make improvements to our recommendation algorithms on a regular basis. In a fundamental sense, the way that we do this at our scale is twofold. The first is we are not making these decisions on our own. We work with external evaluators all over the world. They are given a set of guidelines. We actually publish.
I just have to note how disgusted he looks on his face. Does he just not look completely disgusted? What do you mean you're not pushing people out into the to the flat earthers and stuff like that? I want you to be telling me how awful YouTube is and sowing division and and don't trust these people on YouTube. They have to come to the authoritative sources. What are you putting in the chat?
I'm trying to use this other stream elements, your stream elements.
I pulled it up, but it isn't doing anything. I can see the chat over here.
It didn't do nothing.
I don't know. What do you want me to do? I have to share it then, I think.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm sharing a video.
Okay, then you don't need to do it now.
I can't do it.
I'm just trying to see if this tip thing is enabled properly.
Yeah.
And working and
Mr. Vegan, I agree with you.
This, oh, there's too many words. I see why it's not working. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, you should not trust anybody blindly. You should question everybody. You know, like everything should be, you know, you should have a healthy distrust for everybody. You know, like even if Steve brings me information, I still will question the information with him. Like, you know, there are certain things that, you know, like we shouldn't just, you know, we should trust the people in our lives that are telling us things, but we should also look into it and see for ourselves that that's really how we feel about that. We should really, you know, evaluate things, and don't just replace someone else's opinion with your own. Like, don't do that. Josh says, just because they have 20K followers rather than a nighttime news slot doesn't mean they're not lying to you. Yeah. Anybody can be. But that's why I try to give all the links and show why I feel the way that I do and let you make your own decision from there. That's what I try to do here. And I know that's different than a lot of what other people do, because I feel like a lot of people just blindly just, oh, it's, you know, I like this person's personality or what they're presenting. It's not. And then they just ask you to, without evidence, just take their word for it. You know, like just take my word for it. And I'm not asking anybody to do that. I'm not asking anybody to take my word over theirs and to change their mind, but to look at it and actually examine information.
I want everyone to just believe me. Just don't take my word for it. It's fine.
No.
Yes.
No.
Don't question me. Okay.
That's authoritarian.
I'm just
not into that.
Who are you calling authoritative?
I'm like more into asking questions.
Why is this not working? Come on.
And remember, if somebody's telling you that you shouldn't be asking questions, that's an alarming thing. If somebody is saying don't ask questions, that's somebody that is gatekeeping. I don't care who it is. If they're telling you don't ask any questions about this or that, then that means they're gatekeeping. And that means that they are the ones withholding information. And they're the ones causing a fracture. Because people should want to be transparent about what's happening. And questions do not mind being asked. If it's a truthful, if you have a truthful response, then you don't mind questions. That's just how it is. The truth does not mind being questioned.
Truth. That's the truth, Ruth. That is the truth, Ruth. I believe it.
Yeah, exactly, Josh. Applejack. Stinker.
I am trying to do a thing.
Those guidelines are externally available guidelines that are the means by which they should evaluate a sample of videos that we give them. And a video is evaluated by 9 different raters that come from this kind of broad external pool based on these external guidelines. In cases of specialized content, for example, health related, we actually rely on medical doctors. And it is, these are these sort of external evaluators that create the ratings of a certain set of videos. And we use those videos to train well-tested machine learning algorithms that allow us to apply those principles and those guidelines that are developed by these raters to our entire corpus. The vast majority of videos that we act on are acted on with minimal views. You mentioned flat Earth, for example. So what I can tell you is that there are a lot more videos around the Earth being flat being created than videos of the Earth being round. You make a video around the Earth being round. You don't need to make too many of those, right? You make one that sort of becomes a canonical video. But the views on those videos, on average, are dramatically lower than the kind of the round Earth videos. And so I do think it's a bit of a myth that a video that's a conspiracy video by its nature is actually going to draw more engagement, more interaction. We actually don't see it bearing out, and that's a very concrete example of kind of a long-standing conspiracy where that hasn't been true.
So what happens in the political context? Recently, there were cases in Brazil where the president and some of his supporters, you decided to take some of those videos down, I think under a violation of your health policy guidelines because it was in the context of coronavirus, right? And you had mentioned that kind of all users have to live by the same community guidelines. So in the case where you are taking down a president's video, is that not an inherently political act to all of that president's supporters? I mean, let's bring it closer to home. President Trump is not on YouTube right now. Is he going to come back? And what would the threshold be?
The best way for us to be able to address that is on an open platform like YouTube is to have a clear set of community guidelines and to have those guidelines apply universally, regardless of who the speaker is. And then also to have a framework by which we act. And so one of the longstanding sort of frameworks that we've had at YouTube is what's called a three strikes framework. You're given 3 chances, if you will, around policy violations around your content before your channel can be terminated from YouTube. And of course, we terminate channels for violations on a regular basis. Again, regardless of who the speaker is, it's based on the content on the platform. In the case of the examples that you're describing, we have taken action on channels that have on videos that have come from heads of state. They have been violations, clear violations of our community guidelines. When that happens, we will remove the video and issue a strike. And in the case of President Trump's channel, that's what happened back in January. There was a video that was uploaded. It was a violation of our community guidelines. And as a result, that video came down and the channel received a strike. Now, normally our strike regime is one where for the first strike, the channel is just kind of in a suspended state for about a week, for 7 days. But we reserve the right to also take into account external factors like risk, as I said at the very beginning, to things like kind of real world harm, egregious harm, physical violence, etc. And when that's the case, we will maintain that kind of suspended state underneath the strike regime that we described. And that happens to be the position that channel is in right now.
Neal Mohan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Harry. It's great to be here.
So I thought that was interesting, and they brought up, of course, Trump, which is such a partisan thing to bring up.
Okay, so I tried it again. Maybe this will work. Perhaps it would bring people to the thing where they can.
But I have to show it on the screen as a may present it.
No, the thing that I put in the chat just now. No, the thing that
no,
I
the thing that you
on
sent me
Twitter.
before.
Yeah.
Is it showing?
Yeah.
No, it's not on there yet.
No, I didn't say it was.
That's just our chat.
It takes me a second. Should be a chat, and then if anybody does anything, that's what happens over here. Why is it not showing? Okay.
I don't know.
Doesn't look like I thought it was going to.
Take it down.
Take it down. Take it down there.
Oh, Josh, I listened to that too. A little bit. What we're talking about. I heard I got in like an hour and like 35 minutes into it. It was ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
Yeah. Yeah. He was. The whole thing was like a shit show.
Vegan, did that work this time? Is Vegan still here? I don't know if it's working or not. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not using that tip link. I don't use PayPal. I deleted my account with them. Okay, well, it does work, right? That's the thing we're trying to do. Just make sure it does the thing.
So
Yeah. Why is it just showing the top?
I wanted to show next the next part of this, which is where are the top shareholders for YouTube? So I always like to try to get the whole picture, the whole perspective of what we're talking about. And so this goes into Alphabet, Google, and Goog.
Alphabet, Google.
And this is from December. This is just like December of 2022. So this is just like a couple months ago.
That just sounds weird when you say Alphabet, Google.
Well, it's Alphabet Inc., Googl.
Google. Okay. I believe you.
So that's the holding company and the parent company of Google. And that's who owns YouTube. Because they're all Alphabet.
Sure.
Hey, get down.
What are you doing up there?
Get down.
Kitten. You are being a real dickhead.
He's being a jerk.
I'm not liking that.
So, yeah, the parent company also is involved in a broad array of businesses, including cloud computing, software, and hardware, advertising services. Yeah, actually, Rockfin is on Google's servers. Their cloud computing and software.
Yep.
That's where Rockfin is.
Okay.
Well, not everybody knows that.
No, most people don't know.
No, most people do not know that.
Most people just assume they are somewhere else. Because why wouldn't you assume something else?
So, the growth has transformed Alphabet into one of the largest companies in the world. Market capitalization at nearly 1.9 trillion. TTM net income of 62.9 billion and TTM revenue of 220.3 billion.
Ka-ching.
And that's of October of 2021. So who knows how much higher it is now?
That's fucking G. It's worth a couple dollars.
Yep, Kate. Yep. So that what's alarming for me with that. Well, we're not allowed on that platform anyway. I don't even know why. I've tried, but I don't know. Maybe I'm too ungovernable for them.
Too ungovernable. What does that mean?
It means that they're not going to tell me what to do.
You can't be told what to do.
Yeah.
What is up with that shit? What do you think? You're just too cool for school or something?
So to me, it seems like it's probably set up like where their censorship could come down on that platform. You know, if they really wanted to, they could pull the servers.
Yep.
And then what? You know, so it's just something to think about. You know, I don't know if anybody's invested into that. Oh my God, I say invested into that, and then Investopedia comes up.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, that's the website we're on. That was funny though. So the three individual inside shareholders, Larry Page, and he has a total of 19.8 million in Alphabet shares, representing only 3.0%. Everett, the cat is going crazy tonight, of the company's total shares. Sergey Brin, and he has a total of 19 million Alphabet shares at 2.9%. And Sundar, I don't know how to say last name. Can you say that, Steve?
Where is it? What is it? Where is it? What is it?
You can't.
Let's see here. Alphabet. Sundar Pichai. Pichai.
So he
Hey,
holds
don't be so Pichai, all right?
88,693 Alphabet shares. That's 0.1% of the company total shares outstanding.
All right.
Institutional investors hold about 34.4% of their total. And outstanding about 31% of the company's total Class C shares. And then we get into these guys. Oh, I know you guys have heard these names before if you've been around here. Vanguard? Yep. Vanguard has their freaking talons, of course, you know, because Vanguard and BlackRock are huge investment firms. And so they collectively invest in these big companies. And this is how they're able to rule all the things. And there's a couple other ones. T. Rowe Price Associates, FMR LLC. This one has 13 million shares. So it's like it's a bunch of people that own these companies. And I mean, Everett, Steve, he's going to pull that down on himself. So I wanted to show you guys. Oh my God, Steve, he's going to pull that down. He's stuck. Cat, don't be a jerk. He ran away from me. Okay, I have another thing here. We're going to talk a little bit about BlackRock and why they matter. Because, again, if you want the whole picture, they have all these shares and, you know, Alphabet. They have all these shares and the media. And so they're really the ones that are controlling everything. And they're one of the biggest investment firms, companies that people just are not really aware of. They don't know. In general, people don't know who they are. Yeah, Applejack, I did. I've been keeping on top of that East Palestine. We're doing a Twitter's Spaces on it tomorrow night. And we're going to have Snork on the Twitter Spaces. We're going to be streaming it onto YouTube, Rumble, and Odysee as well. And we're going to be talking about the aftermath. I thought I said Josh. I didn't say Josh.
No, I think you said Applejack.
Oh, whoops. Well, I was probably looking at his thing, but I meant to say to Josh.
Okay, I think that link should work now perfectly.
But okay, well.
Here we go.
So this is from Biotech Express magazine. No, October of 2022 is the current issue. So BlackRock, owner of, this is important, Fox News, CNN, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, J&J, predicted to cross 10 trillion in managed assets by the end of 2021. It is the world's largest money manager. It's nearing an extraordinary milestone of 10 trillion in assets under management, pensions, and investments. That's insane. That's an insane amount. So these guys are the ones that have their hands in the YouTube and with the algorithm, and they have their hand in the media. And so they're the ones pushing the things. They're the one, and you know, like, so BlackRock is invested this way. BlackRock is invested in Google. It's invested in the media. And I've shown this article before on the show, but this just backs up what I'm talking about BlackRock and about who they are. Add that in. And so they go on to say that BlackRock is the biggest company you've never heard of. Now, I know many of you have heard of this. if you've been around here or other places or just, been paying attention, then you will know them. But most people don't. They don't know who Larry Flink is. Oh my God, Larry Fink. I can't say. But most people aren't going to realize that, they're running the world's money. Like a quarter, what is it? A quarter of the money? It's insane to me. You know what I mean? Like this goes into saying, forget Tesla and Amazon. Like this is the biggest player on the global financial stage.
Big. They got all the money.
And how did they become a media monolith? Ugh, my God. I wish my brain and my mouth would work in tandem. So BlackRock and Vanguard are two of the biggest passive fund asset management firms. The Third State Street is owned by BlackRock, whose largest shareholder is Vanguard. It seems all roads lead to BlackRock. Vanguard is the largest shareholder of BlackRock. Vanguard itself, on the other hand, has a unique structure that makes its ownership more difficult to discern, but many of the oldest, richest families in the world can be linked to Vanguard funds. So, I mean, just following the money trail, you hear that, and that's enough, right? That's enough to be able to follow that back. But then you go, Vanguard and BlackRock are two of the two owners of Time Warner, Comcast, Disney, News Corp, 4 of the 6 media companies that control more than 90% of the media of the U.S. media landscape. These companies own more than 90% together. And yes, it is not just like one person. No, it's a bunch of people. So that's dangerous to me. You know what I mean? One you can stop one, but a whole group. So BlackRock together, BlackRock and Vanguard own 18% of Fox. That's a large percentage when it's a corporation.
Large percentage.
Fox 16%, CBS 13%, and Comcast, which owns NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, and Sky Media Group. 12% of CNN and 12% of Disney, which owns a number of subsidiaries. Media behemoths that may present themselves as rivals are in reality owned by the same company. So remember that when you think that, you know what I mean, like Fox and CNN are against each other, or CBS, no, they're really not. It's all about ratings. It's fake. It's phony. These guys are getting away with whatever they want because they have the power, they have the control. So even though we think we have free media on YouTube and we're able to speak, we're really not. They control even that. They just let us have a little bit of free speech, which really doesn't make it free, does it? So, and then, BlackRock and Vanguard shaped the media landscape of the world. BlackRock's secret weapon, an advanced trading, oh my God, algorithm called Aladdin. Now, I've talked about this before. And they've been shaping global markets for decades. The extensive technology program, which by some estimates operates more than 21.6 trillion in assets, was created by Fink and several colleagues in 1988. Aladdin is an acronym for the Asset, Liability, Debt, and Derivative Investment Network, a program that executes the average of 250,000 trades per day.
Super duper.
Yeah, it's not Aladdin, your kid's, Disney character.
It's not your kids Disney.
No, but they're invested in Disney though. So
Plenty of Disney investors. Sure.
So Aladdin executes trades in every asset class across every industry and detects their actions on the Federal Reserve and almost every major U.S. bank. It controls over half of all ETFs and 17% of the bond market and 10% of the stock market. That's a lot. 10% is a lot when it's just this one entity, because this algorithm could be set up in so many different ways. Like, it's not even really like a stock market. It's really just a game of, you know, whose AI works better, who's going to figure it out better.
Yeah.
So it collects data on every market, every company, every asset, and uses machine learning to calculate which trades to make in less time that it takes for your brain to send an electrical signal through your nervous system to your fingers. Less time than that.
That's pretty speedy.
Yeah. The network that makes up Aladdin is approximately 5,000 supercomputers. And that's now act as a central nervous system for the world's most sophisticated investors and asset managers. Every major bank and fund has come to rely on Aladdin and its all-powerful AI to beat the market, which raises several fundamental questions about the nature of our fragile financial system. Hands of the few. If Aladdin's network were to be hacked, it would be a swift and catastrophic impact on the global economy. The more existential problem is the monopoly this algorithm has created. BlackRock essentially rents out proprietary golden goose to the world's highest bidders, mostly large hedge funds and mega banks. This is insane. And I've read this article before. And I'm just like, I'm always thrown away by it. You know, and they go on to talk about how it, you know, if it appears one of your shareholders in your company, you stand out from the crowd and you get prestige. When the global financial crisis hit, Aladdin was called upon by every major bank, as well as the head of the Federal Reserve and U.S. Treasury. So what does that mean? Now, if you've read this article before and you've been here when I've covered it, you might remember that means that the U.S. government called on Aladdin to figure out what assets to keep and let go on the Bear Stearns cause. A New York-based global investment bank, securities trading, and brokerage firm that failed in 2008 and was subsequently sold to J.P. Morgan Chase. You know what else happened in that 2008, right? The success Aladdin had is almost single-handedly stopping the world from experiencing complete financial collapse, earned it the prestigious place among the world's governing bodies. Aladdin was given free rein to decide what to do with the $2 trillion that was printed in the wake of the Great Recession. The majority of it was allocated to bonds and funds to prop up the mortgage companies and banks, assets in which BlackRock was already heavily invested. So it's rigged against you already from the start. You have all these people that are, you know, rigging this entire system against you. And this just adds on to it. They have AI to use on top of it. And then in 2017, Fink launched a new project at BlackRock called Monarch, which replaced many of the firm's fund managers with algorithms. So yeah, they won't need people. They'll just have robots and AIs figuring everything out, and the stock market will be completely an AI game. I mean, that's what I see coming. You know, it'd be like, oh well, my AI, you know, however, is more, you know, it's better than yours, so I win.
My AI is better than your AI. My AI.
We'll have to ask Snork about that. So the influence of BlackRock and its powerful algorithm cannot be overstated. As of 2021, at least 3 executives from BlackRock operate notable positions in where? Oh, President Biden's cabinet. Biden appointed BlackRock executive Brian Deese as head of National Economic Council. I don't know. I cannot pronounce that name. Former chief of staff to BlackRock's chief executive and the top official at the Treasury Department. While all programs become more sophisticated, possibly to the point of becoming sentient, Aladdin has quietly been shaping the world's economy, making the largest asset managers even bigger and bawling out entire governments. The era of AI isn't coming. It's been here for decades, and it's now so integrated into our financial system, the world would collapse without it.
Well, what do you know about that?
What I know is I think that was a really well done article.
Pretty good.
I feel like it has a lot of information on it that you don't just pick that up from other articles about BlackRock and Vanguard and all the connections and the ties. So what do we think about Neal Mohan?
Oh, he seems like a great guy. He's going to be a swell addition to the team. I'm certainly excited. I hope everyone else is.
Hi, Gore.
Gore, son of none. Excuse me.
Yeah, you probably and Oz would probably be really good on that, Stork. I know, right? Kate says every paragraph that I read, it lowers my social credit score. Exactly, Vicky. I know, and you don't even. And I posted that actually, on my Twitter. I'm sorry, I know you can't be on, but I did. I posted that on Twitter. I looked up their 10 top investments for the Norfolk Southern Railroad, and yeah, Vanguard and BlackRock were both right there on the top.
Right,
most notable. But Vicky, I want you to know that tomorrow night when I'm doing a Twitter Spaces with Snork and Ricky Rance is going to help, and Steve will be there, and I hope a lot of you. I'm going to be streaming it to YouTube, Rumble, and Odysee as well. So you won't miss out if you want to participate or you want to see what happens on the Twitter Spaces.
Yep. We'll be taking questions from the chat.
Yeah.
And stuff. It'll be fun. Exasperating.
I guess
everybody will have high blood pressure and want to kill each other. It'll be fantastic. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
Vicky Adams.
Well, you might not. You don't even have to go on Twitter. That's the thing. Like you'll be able to see what the Twitter Spaces looks like. It's just kind of like everyone tunes in on their phone. Like you can listen on a computer, but you can't like interact on the computer. And like you can give like little like thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever, and raise your hand to be speaker, and you can request to be a speaker. But
like 8:45 Eastern Standard, Snorky.
Yeah,
would be good. A couple of minutes early. Yeah. So
yeah, I think that as we say goodbye to Susan and we like have Neal coming in, I predict based on, what evidence I've shown everybody tonight, I feel like it's not going to be a good situation with him. I feel like he's going to be pushing in more of that censorship that he seems to like so much. In the authoritative like content, that's what he wants people to be pushed on.
At
So
least 99.9% of them. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. That's what he gonna do. So everybody, please remember to subscribe to us on Rumble and Odysee, and also to take deep breaths and stuff. You should play that song that I put up on my thing. And please come subscribe to Steve Cutler Live if you ain't already. Because I can't get over 400 subscribers. It's only been
I don't know what's
been like
happening.
11 years, and I'm almost there.
I don't know what's happening.
It's called Steve Gets None of the Rewards that Neal was talking about, because he don't know when to shut up. Ohio is East Coast time. That is absolutely correct. We are running on the same time.
Yes.
Not Tulsa time, which is slightly different. It's like a couple hours behind. So yeah.
I told you, Applejack.
Are you gonna play my track or
Wait, what?
On my thing? It's the last one I just put up.
Where? What do you mean? Where is it?
On my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Go to videos. It's the last. It's the one. The last one. It says Stever on it, I believe.
Where do I find this? This one right here? This one? All right, we'll have a music break.
Yeah. So everybody just, relax. Calm down.
Steve got irritated with me.
Smoke a bowl. Smizza-jizza.
Yeah, people think that like these Chinese spy balloons are what's surveilling us. Sorry. It's right in front of you. BlackRock is surveilling you.
Hello. Just wave at the camera. Wave at the device that you're currently using. They'll see you. Smile. Give them your best stuff.
Yeah. See, we keep these things on ours, like at least like, that. We have little things that go over our cameras.
Because you gotta, man. They be listening.
Well, I mean, they still can listen, but at least like, I keep my camera covered. Like, it's just a little, my bank had it. Like, what? I don't forget to name you guys. Stop.
Oh my God.
Ah. Let me pull up this video.
Oh my God, you guys.
Steve wants us to have a break, okay?
Everybody just take a break. Just take a chill pill. Breathe. Do that 4 or 5 times in a row. Each breath getting slightly deeper and held for slightly longer each time until you feel the little stars and fuzzy things moving down. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Hey.
Well, life in the circus ain't easy, but the folks on the outside don't know. The tent goes up, and the tent comes down, and all they see is the show. And the maids on the horses look so pretty, and the lions are looking real mad. Some of the clowns are happy, some of the clowns are sad. But underneath, there's an expression that the makeup isn't making. Life under the big top, it's about freedom. It's about faking. There's an art to the laughter. You need a lot of laughter. There's a science. You need a lot of love and compliance. Welcome to the freak show. Here we go. Welcome to the freak show. Here we go. We live to hear the slack-jawed gasping. We live under a halo of hell breath. And when the children raise up a giant shield of laughter, it's like they're all fending off death. We can make something bigger than any of us alone. And when the clowns take off their makeup and the people all go home, but life on the outside ain't easy. There's no sequins, no elephants, no parading around. Yeah, the circus comes and the circus goes, and they're all stuck in this nowhere fucking town. Need a lot of love and compliance. Need a lot of love. Just trust the science. Welcome to the freak show. Here we go. Welcome to the freak show. Here we go. Welcome to the freak show. Freak show. Here we go.
There we are. That was awesome.
Welcome to the freak show. Here we go.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm putting the link in this chat here. Make sure we put it in the show notes too.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to wrap it up. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. And hope if you missed any, you'll go back and check it out. The what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is the Ohio freaking disaster train derailment.
Yeah, I can probably pull up the thumbnail, right?
Yeah, you probably can. if you just go like add to overlay, or you just go find it on the YouTube.
Yeah, that's how I was gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? If I could own, I do own a solid body, but it's a Gibson Les Paul studio, but I would love an SG. You know what I love more than that is Ibanez. The Ibanez from the 70s. They're so, oh my God. I played a couple of them, and they're just like, holy son of a God, how could this thing be so friggin' sweet? They are. And they just fucking are, man. But, SG is definitely like the combination of all things that I love about electric guitar. No sweat, Gord. Nice to see you, buddy. Always in the toys. That's right.
Okay, so did I put up anything yet?
Chat was sus. That may happen occasionally, Anthony. That's just the par for the course. Got to hit the sack. Everybody, you guys have a freaking great night, okay? Because we love you.
Yes. I'm going to show them.
Show them.
I am.
Don't just tell them. Show them.
So, yeah. This is a show for tomorrow night, and so we are going to be doing a simulcast with the Twitter Spaces. So no matter what, because some people aren't on Twitter.
That's right. You don't even have to get your Twitter on.
You don't. No. Like if you're here,
you could pretend you don't even have a Twitter. If you have a Twitter and you don't want to be on the Twitter,
yeah, you don't have to
like,
sit on Twitter Spaces if you don't want to.
Spaces with you motherfuckers.
Yeah, maybe you want to put it on your TV or something instead, and you're like, I'll just put on the YouTube or the Rumble or the Odysee,
sure,
or whatever.
I don't like how the live in 21 hours has covered up Ricky and Snorky's name on the bottom there. That's not cool. Son.
Oh, is it?
It is. It's entirely too much. It should just be little buttons. Notify me. Just put a bell. Don't even put.
Well, I love the thumbnail. I think that.
Who makes that? YouTube?
I think that Steve made a wonderful thumbnail. You guys.
What'd you say? I make a wonderful thumbnail. Thank you.
You do.
Try to make them colorful so people are like, "What the fuck is that?" I mean, look at that shit.
We're going to be talking about the train derailment, and Ricky's going to help me maintain the spaces as my co-host and stuff. And, I don't know how to do it. This is my first one that I've talked on Twitter Spaces, some really big ones actually, but I haven't hosted one. So this is going to be really interesting. And we'll
send
just
them money to get a silent mouse. No shit.
Sorry.
All I hear is clicking with a lot of gain. What the fuck?
Oh, sorry. I know. I need.
We're poor. We're trying to save money. If you want to send us money, please send us money so we can buy a computer.
It's a tiny mouse. Look how tiny.
If we have a computer, we'll do all the important stuff on that, and then the laptops will be virtually silent.
It's super tiny.
Little.
Yeah, and see, that's what I think is cool about it, Josh, is that you don't have to be on Twitter to be able to participate, to listen, and just see what's going on.
It should be fun. Please join us, everybody.
And Applejack, I'm not leaving you out.
And we're including.
You said that you are going to be working, so I don't know if you're going to be able to be on there or not.
He'll be on there. Are you kidding me? That's when he does some of his best tweeting.
Well, we hope that you are with us on the Twitter Spaces. I would love to get, information because I know you're closer to that area. Please share the information out there. To me, it's just really important that we're talking about this and we're not letting this go, and we're not going to let these people just suffer, it is devastating to me what's happening, and I just think like if something like that happened like near us, like what would we do? You know, and I feel complete compassion for the people going through this, and you know, people with animals, and you know, their animals are dying, or like they had to leave some behind and they had to flee, and you know, and I just it just breaks my heart, you
Yeah.
know.
I hope everybody will join us and have a good time, you know, talking about the horrible fucking human condition and situation that everybody's in, and try to, you know, have as much
What's our way out of this?
positivity and
What can we do?
Let's problem solve this motherfucker.
You know, like how can we show support? What are people's concerns?
Yes.
You know, it's a place where we're going to be able to express how we're feeling, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, it happened fucking near to you, Applejack. So I mean, consider that. Go look in your fucking your creeks down the fucking road, or your cricks. I'm sorry, they say crick in Ohio now. I'm getting hip to the vernacular. Around here, we say creek.
Yeah, it's creek here.
So you know, it's all subtle variations on a theme, like all of nature. We love you guys. Let's say goodnight to these people.
All right. I wanted to put Josh's comment up. He goes, I can't wait to laugh at Ricky. I don't know what he's going to say, but it's going to be funny.
Ricky's funny no matter what.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
I love that guy.
I do. I really appreciate Ricky for being there, you know, to help. And
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Thank you,
Snork,
Kate.
I can't
Thank
wait
you,
to do
Snork.
another one with you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, man.
Josh.
All right.
Kate, good night.
Peace out, Girl Scouts. We love you.
Yes. Go set your reminder and, you know, like give the stream a like and stuff.
Yeah.
It helps. Ooh, I don't want to like do that creepy whisper thing like what Biden does.
No, don't do that.
Ah!
Just yell, buy me a coffee.
Oh yeah, buy me a coffee.
That's all.
There's like links and stuff and things, and we got an online store. Check it out.
We love you.
We love you guys. Did it? What is it doing? I think it did.
We're still doing it. We're still saying goodbye.